Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the StarLadder I-League Star Series Season 3. We're going to be taking a look at game number 1 now. It's Vega Squadron, the new team on the block. Well, not so new, I guess. Cloud9 also kind of newish, but not really. But yeah, they're going to be facing off against each other. What an intro. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by Trent Pax. How you doing, man?
Oh, hello. It took us a few times to get this lobby, so sorry there, folks. We're having some slight issues, but we're here now. It's all that matters. I am doing quite well. How are you? How is your, what is this, third day in a row of Star Ladder? How's it treating you now?
Pretty good actually. You know, I've been waking up at 5 in the morning over here. Go for a quick run to wake myself up, a shower, make a little bit of coffee, a little bit of bacon. It's a great way to start the morning, and then I get to cast Dota 2 with you. Like, what more can anybody want? This is the best in the world. It's great.
Oh, it doesn't get much better than that. It is true. I am wonderful.
How about you?
Good. So we talked about like negative reinforcement this morning. You have failed. You have given me much more positive reinforcement. That's fine. We'll work through it. But we're gonna be working with a Luna, but no Shadow Demons. So you guys can just chill, just get 50% salty and wussy about it. But the most interesting thing to me would be the fact that Vega went for the Luna over the Slardar. Not the craziest thing. I wonder if that's because like Sarah has a little bit more versatility. Like, do I get his disruptor? I feel like I haven't got to cast Vega forever, but that sure was a damn standard with those guys.
Which one was that now? Sorry, I missed that last
part. His disruptor.
Oh yeah,
so
totally.
Often.
Yeah, I think that there are Vega's always been a bit of an interesting squad, but adding in now the ex-Navi members to it, and they've had a fair amount of exposure playing, I think, in some other StarLadder stuff as well. I'm pretty sure that they were the open qualifier team, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was Cloud9, excuse me. No, they did. They made it through the additional qualifier because Virtus Pro ended up withdrawing from the event. So then it was the Phase 2 semifinalists. So by all accounts, Vegas shouldn't have even been here. Virtus Pro were supposed to be in, and it was between them and Friends, and they ended up taking it in a 3-game series. So Vegas Squadron making it through, and now they're picking Luna. So I guess that shows us what should have happened, but...
Yeah, I like to follow up with the Dazzle too, though. Again, just having that weave very handy up against Slardar. It kind of dissuades Cloud9 from going back towards any sort of like a full minus armor strategy too, which can be one of the best ways to work with Slardar. Just having Grave up against some like Life Stealer can be handy. It gives a lot for Cloud9 to think about, and I mean honestly, the only way you're going to fully counter someone like Dazzle is to go Axe, and that's not the worst thing in the world anyway.
I wouldn't mind seeing
You're okay if they head that way.
5 seconds remaining.
And I was kind of wondering, these are two couple of heroes that I expected to be at least fairly heavily contested. The Darkseer and the Earth Spirit. Both teams run Darkseer and have 100% win rate on it so far through the event. Play a heck of a lot of it. And I mean, also Earth Spirit, of course. We've seen what Vega Squadron can do with that hero. I think it's their most picked, if I'm not mistaken, as well, or at least one of them. So yeah, a lot of stuff coming up. How do you feel about this? Like we've seen a lot of Cloud9 over the past 2 days, but how do you feel about the Vega Squadron team and where you feel like they fit within the CIS region or EU in general? Like there's a lot of big names we got here.
Yeah, no, I think this squad is super exciting. Any CIS fan, I'm sure, is very, very happy to look at these guys and be like, oh, hey, so these guys are going to mean all those new qualifiers that we got as I now turn on Dota TV. Hopefully no one... Sorry, fam. But we're here now. Either way, it's going to be exciting. Like South American qualifier, CIS qualifier, we're still trying to determine like what teams are going to be there, who are going to be the top dogs. Pretty beneficial to be in one of those maybe lower populated regions in terms of squads, but... I do think it's fair to favor Vega over C9, even though we may not have seen that much out of Vega yet. I would say just by looking at the names, you have to give them a lot of credit. And C9, they had a chance where they were coming into this event with a little bit of a fresh and kind of open situation where you're thinking like, okay, how are these guys, how are these guys going to perform against everyone? But now they've been a little shaky so far. To their credit, though, they did beat, as you said, Vega in those little qualifier things. So if they can just do that again, you know, that's all that really matters.
Well, and we're seeing a little bit of the new tricks here again. This was the same type of draft that we saw from Liquid previously, and then from Cloud9 after Liquid beat them with it. A little bit of variation here and there, but the Slardar Batrider, sort of as that dual lane, felt so strong to me in the games that we watched. What can we expect from it against a Luna Dazzle, at least to start?
Yeah, I mean, it was terrifying. I don't want to play against that. I don't want to be in that lane. Luna Dazzle, and then we assume it's going to be the +1. Will be that big thought. Who do you want to bring in? Who can handle this? You know, he's a bastard. And typically, when you think about Slardar and Batrider, these kind of dual lanes are like diving your tower and stuff like that. It usually comes down to the 5 support, be it like a Witch Doctor, very classic one. But already having the Dazzle, who's not necessarily like weak in lane. He's very good at harassing out a single person, but I guess he'll work well in the tri-lane too, but he's just not enough to handle that sort of aggression, certainly on his own. Not that many position 5 heroes would be. So we'll have to see. I assume it's going to be Seneko. I actually haven't even got to watch Vega Squadron, but I assume it'll be Seneko who'll be bringing up on the 4. Remaining. So looking forward to see what they pick him or where we go from there. But the Ember Spirit is, I like how you brought up the Earth Spirit too, because that opener where they were doing Ember Spirit, Earth Spirit, to me seems really strong. Pretty interesting way to fire up into your draft. So already plenty of experience with the hero. The guy's super overpowered. At least he seems to be in his current form, and maybe Cloud9 will have to look towards one of those dispels to deal with him.
Yeah, and I mean, earlier on you mentioned as well that the lineup of Cloud9 was able to take down Vega Squadron. The earlier qualifiers, 2 of those games were with Cloud9 taking a Meepo, and you see the first phase. I mean, it's no real surprise. We've seen it a lot. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe this changes things around a little bit and will shift the balance of power away. The last game also was with a Darkseer, which Vega Squadron opt to ban out in the second phase. So it feels like Vega Squadron have come in with their homework, and now taking this Ember Spirit, you talk about overpowered a little bit. It feels like they're looking a lot better than they were previously, at least as far as their draft is concerned. But now the Ursa taken a very strong and quickly bursting presence. They might. It feels like they have a ton of lockdown to contain Ember, though, and now with the Ursa there, they have the damage too.
Yeah, that's nice. Typically, we always think about Ursa with Timber Saws, Faceless Voids, but against slippery heroes, he's also very nice. He still has a quick burst of damage that someone like Batrider and Slardar can allow him to get it fully off here. And Vega might want to consider. I guess they've been playing. Well, they've been playing Earth Spirit, really. Their other position 4, who have they even ran? A little bit of Undying. The Venge, I guess, could be put into a little bit of position 4 here, too. Would synergize decently. It still wouldn't be the strongest lane, but then again, once you have Luna, Dazzle, that third hero, there's not much else. With the auras, perhaps that would be enough to right-click them out. You get the swap up against the Batrider. Could perhaps build into an earlier Force Staff against the Ursa.
There it is. Undying does come out. They don't switch it up all that much. They like their heroes that they got. Which
that's interesting up against Ursa though. Just cause, well, like, you know, he's got those fast hits. They already have 2 other ranged heroes, but I guess if Ursa's hitting your tombstone, that's a bit of a win in these engagements.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary with, like, you know, all of the Luna damage that can come up, but I guess Enrage is there also. We'll see how it ends up working out for them.
Reserve time.
I'm just kind of wondering now, they do very, very heavily lack lockdown, and that's something that Ursa can kind of punish. Do they need to address that in the next one, or do they just double down on winning their lanes at this point?
Well, you're on the right point there, as they do ban out the Legion Commander, one of the better offlaners in terms of that useful control. It seems with the Undying pick, I think it was just that focus again on that Slardar Batrider, where they just someone like Venge, yes, I think would have been better overall for the draft, but in terms of securing the lane, Undying is like the trump card. He is that guy who he comes in, he saves the lane, he does his thing. Remaining. So for their off lane, they have been doing the Omni, which although it doesn't offer that control, it will give them an insane amount of flexibility with that Ember Spirit. He would have to get lassoed pretty much. For them to be able to bring him down.
You know, I kind of like that, because to me it feels like if you're already doubled down on lack of control, just go for a way to push down towers with Luna, secure her lane, as you mentioned, and if you get Omni up to a quick level, then they could just steamroll Cloud9. I guess I wonder about if Cloud9 just takes something. Yeah, and this is a similar type of one, control and that mech builder.
Yeah, this would be the other offlaner they've been playing. So you're you're right. They don't really switch it up too much, and the Enigma is here. So decent control. Mostly gonna be Malphus control. You would think, just keeping stunning that Ursa. Again, a hero doesn't like to go towards the BKB.
Ooh.
And we finished out with a TB for our first game of the day.
All right. Well, very interesting stuff as we get ready to hop into game number 1. It's Vega Squadron facing off against Cloud9. Tripax, I'm kind of wondering at this point, do you think that Vega Squadron are going to be able to run them down? Like, Ember Spirit has the split put, or at least the ability to push out lanes against those bots. Are you worried at all for Cloud9 and the pressure that's going to be applied to them?
I think they have a lot of pressure of their own too, just from the Terrorblade. They've committed this Dazzle Undying Luna to essentially save this one lane, right? That whole Luna lane. But if they run that Batrider Slider up there against that, and they get this successful little 2v3, I think that still favors Cloud9 in the sense that Slider and Batrider are still so strong. They'll be working with that Radiant offlane Shrine that if you're giving all that space over to Terrorblade, it's not like Enigma's gonna be able to do too much in lane. He'll probably be jungling for the most part. Should still be quite fine for them.
You know what? I think I'm actually... I had this set earlier, but then I took it off because I had to use a... which was the one... How do you do the big extra large minimap? There it is. We're switching that back on. There was one tournament that I was casting where I had to have like it sized for a certain overlay because the overlay was just in the middle of it, but I really like the extra large map. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, bigger is better. Let's go.
Absolutely. You're letting your NA roots show there. It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
Well, early movement out now. Cloud9 wanting to contest bounty runes here, and we'll see if they're able to make a battle happen.
Yeah. Quick TP out. They will block off both camps, so guarantees they need at least 2 sentries here. Well, actually, could one God tier sentry hit this? That would be impressive. I guess it could. Yeah, it's definitely in range.
Which one now?
If he were theoretically, Rise might be able to find both with 1 sentry, but.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would be pretty neat. It does block out both of those camps. Very frustrating placement, of course. And actually, you know, based upon where they tend to place wards, like that area in there, it feels like it could be the spot to go. But now, just going to be trading off the bounty runes. G should be able to get himself one. And no problems at all. Picking up that poor man shield first. But Ursa lane against the Ember. How tough is this?
That's no fun for Ember, for sure. Not going to be giving yourself a good time. See plenty of teams opt for this. It goes the way you do, or you would think for most matchups when it's melee versus Ursa, they don't have a good time. So this, again, adds quite a bit of value into the Slider and Batrider too, where now they're only up against 2 heroes, so they'll be pressuring for the Luna, as we'll probably see a little bit of rotations from Sioma in between top and mid. This poor man shield. Even Sioma can't do that much against Baby Knight, right? He's not like a Disruptor or Winter Wyvern or something. It's just going to be right clicks, focusing for the most part, and then some physical damage coming out from his Q. Poison touch.
Man, and a lot of damage being dealt up here in the top lane. You have decay stacks being thrown around. This match is going to be on a knife's edge, and they decide to turn on Ditchy Ra. Does only have 2 points of that sticky napalm on him. Seneko also taking some damage, but he has almost 1,000 HP, and they're just continuing to bully around this Batrider, currently with 400 HP. 7 stacks on Seneko now. He is going to end up going down here, I believe, and yeah, no way out. That's first blood drawn, and maybe going to be able to take another if Ditchy Ra's not careful. Man, Cloud9, this lane is so hard to deal with.
Yeah, I feel like we're becoming regional experts on this lane. I've seen it so many times now, and now on to Ditchy Ra.
Oh my god, this is a travesty. Already this early on, another little hit, a double kill for Hestejo, and yep, this is why they run it. It's pretty good.
Hey, what do you want to do, Batrider? Oh, why don't we go Shrine? That sounds cool.
By the way,
mid lane, well, that's expected, I suppose.
Yeah, they take him down, and like, all right, this is already not going super well for Vega Squadron. Cloud9 came to play.
Well, at the very least, all these rotations means Mag chose the right build. Didn't need any sort of an Iron Talon because he kind of saw where the supports would rotate thanks to the pressure they were going to be putting in on towards the top lane / mid lane and whatnot. So he can go into his Soul Ring. Maybe he'll be getting the mech up a little bit faster because of that. G again, tossed back.
Oh. Yeah, and he really needs to be careful at this point. Like, Rise can almost, like, if they get one more lift at this point, he can't approach the wave. Granted, it's still 12 seconds before the next one's going to be up. The saving grace, I guess, is maybe going to be the Enigma in this offlane. Where do you see that happening? He's already level 3 by about that 4 or 5 minute mark. He should have level 6. Can he rotate and find kills?
Yeah, probably smoke up the supports once he hits 6 and try and get a big push from there. Likely top lane would be the best target. They have the one ward in lane, so by the time he's level 6, we might see them come up, slap a ward down behind the tower, see if they can pressure that way. And if they can get a roll going from there, that adds a little bit more gold in the mag. Maybe get some headdress buckler, or perhaps up even closer to that mechanism. You could definitely see some action happening between the 4 heroes on Vega and giving a little bit of room to G on his own. Let him get some farm going, get up to wherever he wants to be and whatever items he wants to go. If he gets enough farm early, he can go for the Veil. If he's 2-shot down, we might see him just start heading into those bots we've seen a couple times.
Yeah,
should be a very interesting game.
I'm just sort of worried at this point that in some ways Vega Squadron's draft has relied heavily upon being able to pressure out early. And not that they're not going to scale well into the late game. We see what Ember can do. We know that Enigma Black Hole can change it around in a second. But thinking about a Terrorblade and an Ursa late game with very limited AoE control for Terrorblade and very limited, single target control for Ursa, this could be tough.
Yeah, this isn't some super heavy falling off lane winning draft or anything like that. It's still an Ursa. It's a Slider Bat Rider. If you give them a lot of the space early on, they're going to get up those terrifying first items and the Blink Daggers. And it's going to open up the Roshan on there for Ursa, and Slider even there to help him out too. So the Vega definitely need to be concerned about those things. Can't let things get too out of hand, but really they don't have many options of them. Look, Ditchy Raw is just like tanking creeps under the tower, losing what little HP he has.
Yeah, and it's not as if... Oh, nice dodge of the little decay used there as well. It's not as if you're also going to be able to have a great time making up for it in all these other ones, but G is able to keep even and on parity right now with the Ursa. More battles potentially going on up top. They use the Firefly. They crush Ditchiara again, going to get ran down. They have the Soul Orb to try and keep him alive, but now the Flame Push is going to push him back, and they do manage to find the kill onto Hestejo, but Ditchiara dies again, so... Well, another kill going back into Cloud9. Vega find one for themselves here, though.
Yeah, that is still now a 500 gold lead despite Bat Rider going down first. Just the bat, and oh, Noya! Nice crush. Should be okay.
Just a little walk away. Snako, with this build, he's going to be able to become like a larger and larger fighting force in this lane, but it will take a little while. So I don't think all is lost up here. As long as they play safe, don't get Ditchiara picked off again, there's definitely recovery options. As mid lane, they go into Baby Knight a little bit, pull him back in, and actually they're just going to push him away to make sure that they don't end up finding it.
Snako made a nice little play there where he came over and... oh, the bounce!
Nice! Oh my goodness! The flame break into the crush to get that extra little bit of damage on. That was really good. Obviously, no longer breaking TPs, but if you push him into a Slardar crush, it works.
Yeah, that works. That'll get her done. That was nice. All right, quick play. So that ward really helping out there. Snako came to steal the 4-minute bounty rune. Oh, that's awesome. I was just like, oh, he's not going to get there in time. I thought he was gone.
No. Rise.
Very well done from Hestejo.
Rise in the mid lane might be in a little bit of trouble here. We do have the body blocks that can come in. Oh, I think that Rise ran into him and realized what was going on, so won't be able to make anything happen there.
And Snako TP's mid.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Maybe
attack.
thought perhaps he thought that gank was going to go off him, so he was wanted to be ready for it. But yeah, he'll start making his way up top. Yeah. How about old Dirty Raw?
They are going to spot into him. It feels like with this lane right now, they're not really able to pressure too much, but considering how bad it could have gone, well, maybe not. Wrap around here. You got Sioma the Slayer. A ton of damage onto Hestejo. He might just end up going down. Can they find the final touch? They do. So that rotation in, now that Ember Spirit has been able to get himself a decent start, this is where things start to turn around a little bit.
Yeah, you can see that very well-timed Shadow Wave. I think we've all been in those lanes before where Dazzle just kind of puts out this damage and you have to blink twice and be like, what the hell? This hero's not supposed to do that much damage, is he?
Yeah.
But very well done. They'll bring up Rise too. So now we have full try action, and it's over. So we're heading down bottom. Mag just hit 6. Wow, perfectly timed here.
Are they going to be able to get this
close.
kill? Oh, just outside of range.
Oh, with all the Eidolons. There's so much damage too.
That totally would have been a kill. And now you have the 3 heroes up in the top lane. Yeah, Ditchiara realizes cannot stick around there. So, well, they're going to get pressured in, and it looks like up in the top lane, I don't think that they can take the tower necessarily, but they'll at least be able to do a decent chunk of damage to it. But the bigger thing is that they're keeping Ditchiara out of lane.
Yeah, and Hestajo's getting free farm.
Right.
This current moment, well, they are going to push. Rise even throwing out a phase bolt here, so seeing the Dazzle TP, they just know, okay, well, at least he can't come up here. Are they really going to commit their Ember up here? No. Are they going to bring up their Enigma? Well, if they do, then our Terrorblade gets this space to farm. So pressuring as much as they can is pretty important here.
Oh my god.
Noya just not even going to give them the camps.
Oh my god.
Get out of here.
That's so frustrating to deal with. Yeah, and I mean, it's strange. You would imagine that this type of lineup from Vega would be able to get aggressive early, but not really the case. The Crush is going to end up connecting. Baby Knight, he has overpower, chasing him down, slowed up as well, but not going to be able to find that kill. The rotation in from Ditchiara. He does not have Eclipse yet, so not able to do the most amount of damage, but we'll force him back in a way and I guess try and steal some of the camps in the jungle or maybe pressure bottom.
Is under attack.
Yeah, a little bit of both, perhaps, but just getting near some friends. And it will be a bottom tower pressure. Oh, nice little scout out with this illusion there. I'll take the free gold from it, though, but... Yeah, nicely done. Come on down. 1 point Lunar Blessing. That'll be enough. Force TB off, and he's going to head on mid.
Oh, good recognition there by G. And that might signal to them that this ward is up here on the high ground, which is going to end up... tipping him off to the fact that that could have happened. Seneko is still defending up here top, but might be in a little bit of trouble. The lift not going to be there. Rise couldn't round the corner quickly enough. So trading towers.
Yeah, he started his TP mid, then he canceled it, but it's on his way in area. He's there now, I guess. And just Metamorphosis. Ditchiara has no TP. They can see that, so they don't have to worry about him coming with the Eclipse.
Oh, but you do have G here, who is invis. Might be a little bit too tough to make something happen. They could probably kill off Noya, who's manning up against
Seneko. It's been long enough
Seneko.
for her to get TP too. This is kind of scary.
Yeah, he ends up going down, but they will still be able to find that. And, well, there's the big black hole. They find it onto 2. Gerard, Baby Knight trying to run away. Good lift there from Rubik, and he was able to keep the rest of his team from going down. They end up losing Ace, but not Baby Knight. Never mind. Baby Knight's gone as well. So a little unfortunate there that Rise couldn't show up slightly earlier.
All right, finding a nice little window here from Vegas. Well, they're probably well aware Hestajo is still trying to be greedy here, trying to get in towards that Blink Dagger, and he'll just get the gold for it now, so he didn't want to join into that fight in the mid lane. They get pressure down bottom, swing back around, get the kills there. So nice little turnaround. Ursa and Bat are still on top, though, followed by that Enigma and our Ember Spirit here. And getting enough space now to G. He will be able to go into the Veil. Nothing too concerning about his build. He's okay. He's got decent timings going.
Yeah. Now, it feels right now like there's just been a little bit more objective tanking going on by Cloud9. Well, I guess just one more objective being taken. But they're also going to be able to go into taking Roshan probably a little bit earlier than you would see from Vega Squadron. So that will be an interesting timing when that comes about. Meanwhile, the smoke rotation.
Yeah, they're looking for it right now. That scan on the Roche Pit.
Little do they know.
It's a blink reveal.
This is a kind of tough kill, though. He throws back one remnant, but Sioma will be the one that they go upon instead. So they take one kill, and I guess is this just a bottom tier 1 tower and then to Roche, or do they need to find another pick before they can take down the big guy?
I don't know. It's kind of tough. Could just be a bottom. Well, I don't think it'll be Roche. I guess it's tough to tell if they can put enough pressure on this bottom tower. Still has plenty of HP. They're going to start with Baby Knight, but top lane is receiving some pressure as well, although it is full HP. So they might be able to do something about this and still get back. And yeah, they're going to start early too. They really don't want to make this a free trade for Vega.
Yeah. Well, Hestejo forces them back in the mid lane. We've been seeing Noya get a ton of space, actually. He's getting pressured now, and they should be able to come back to it, as it looks like Terrorblade is pressuring the tier 2. Ditya shows up and throws out a little hit. Mid lane, more battles going on. Can they catch on to Sioma? Doesn't look like it. It was a DD'd up Ember, and trying to TP away. Ace gets his TP broken, in a lot of trouble now, and might end up going down. They have the Eclipse as well, and that's more than enough to find the kill. So they lose their Terrorblade, and they also ended up, well, bringing down the tier 1 tower mid to half HP.
All right. Interesting. Whoa. A Mask of Madness. I haven't seen this one.
Oh, yeah?
Ditya.
I need to rebind my courier hotkey. They all got messed up. There we go. Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think about that as opposed to the traditional helm?
The movement speed's gonna be very handy against Slardar and Ursa, that's for sure. Dealing, I guess it'll help deal with the range of the Terrorblade as well, and not being kited around just because this is that slightly shorter area of effect. But wow, or rather, slightly shorter range of her attacks. This is very interesting. Also helps you farm quite a bit faster. Has the 3 points up in the glaives. That should increase relatively soon. Very interesting.
So
I'm down.
This is in replacement of the helm, not the like Dragonlance. Like you're always gonna go Dragonlance, right?
I would assume so.
Okay.
Seems like a safe bet.
But before Treads even, I guess just wants to get the maximum ability to farm up all these camps and then just apply that pressure. Very strange. Relying on his team.
It is a big recovery mode. Like that was a rough start for him.
They know that Hestejo's in here. Oh god, that's not what you want to see at all. Oh no, Hestejo. Yeah, that hurts.
Okay, nicely done. Kill goes over to the Ember. Easy peasy. That's a dead Batrider while he had lasso too. So a lot of lost value out of the pick there. Not getting too much as Vega will just keep their pressure up. Talking about Noya getting that space. He's finding again up here, and he's almost in that Blink Dagger. This looks very similar to the last time that Vega won a big fight. There was just this one hero from the Radiant up here pressuring, trying to get in towards that big item. So they're doing a nice job of kind of figuring out what it is C9 are up to and what they're trying to achieve, and then finding these little nooks and crannies inside of it, where they're just like, okay, well, this Slider's farming for a bit. This Batrider's farming for a bit. Let's try and get some sort of a pressure going. And this is what you have to do when you're down. They're down about 2k overall at this point, but it's held steady. So C9 not accelerating their net worth lead into any sort of ridiculous status. And in fact, when you actually look at the top 6 heroes, it's all just 5k across the board for the most part. No big differentials here. So our next team fight will be very decisive in terms of our mid game.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting time, and I think that you've got a couple of those big team fight ultis. The key thing for me is that Rubik level 6 is online at this point. He's level 7, whereas last fight he was able to get the lift and very easily could have gotten a steal on Black Hole had he been able to get it. So I'm almost wondering if Enigma needs to think about going back into that. Yeah, he's already lined up the Blink Dagger. Yeah. Make sure he finds that Rubik in the midst of the chaos.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, they've now smoked, and they're going to be the ones who head into the pit here. So
Dire's structures are
let's go for the full completion. I mean, they have Batrider on the Radiant, yes, but they have Undying on the Dire and Noya.
Yep, realizes Sioma's there, might be in a little bit of trouble, and that is kind of the Blink reveal, honestly. So everybody going to TP in and try and show up at Roche. But they don't have the Slardar for 23 seconds. Batrider is there. They spotted him out and broke his Blink Dagger. They have zombies on top of him. So he, well, at least for now, does have the Blink if he wants to go for it. Tombstone's still wearing off. They need to take down this ward desperately if they want to fight around here. Man, Vega have set this up so well.
Yeah, a lot of area denial here, too. Just between Tombstone, and in fact, they're going to have Midnight Pulse and the Black Hole. It's very difficult for Cloud9 to get in here. Hestejo TPing in Envisioned with the Firefly up. Lets them know that it's unlikely they're going to contest. At least, you know, once that Firefly ends, they can't really fight them inside the pit. So for now, they just back off, and wow, they might even catch Hestejo here.
Spots him, quick blink away. Nope, all right, he's in some trouble now. Flame break, a little bit off the mark, pushes Ditya closer, and that movement speed you talked about, looks like he will get out. And
they go for the D ward. They can try and pressure Roche here too.
I mean,
this is scary just because, you know, there's no life steal or anything. No one's tanking. If they come back for this fight.
oh God, Rise. He places down a ward and sees G going after him. This ward here on the high ground doing so much work. The vision advantage that Cloud9 have committed to this area. Like, they get one D ward, think that they're safe, don't realize there's another one on the other high ground.
All this is what you expect in a game like this, where everything's so close in this mid game. It is definitely going to be a battle of the Roche here, but at least Ace, the one person who's been absolved from all of this, he's just down bottom farming away, got his Dragonlance heading on into his Manta. Probably relatively happy with the current scenario. Noise here trying to set up a quick kill, but there's more than one hero.
Oh my God. Needs to blink away, so a little bit fortuitous there that he's quick on the draw, making sure to crush before anybody can get a right click off on him. And this frees up Hestejo to farm away. Right now, Cloud9 are definitely getting more out of the map by Hestejo's movement.
I'd like to see Ace try and do the same things up in the top lane, too. If they could get up here with the Terrorblade, because they've already taken all these towers down bottom. So if they could bring him up top and smoke through that dire side jungle and get some vision up, it'd be so beneficial to them. Vega is so low.
Oh, man. This is really
They
scary.
have to commit.
Mag is 40 gold away from Blink Dagger, though. Oh, good blink crushed by Noya. That's enough to make sure that they're able to get away with it. So they're going to be able to get away with the free Roche. That was a bold move by Cloud9.
It really was. So often we see those kind of maneuvers get punished in games like this, but... Okay, perhaps a little bit of an unnecessary risk in some ways, but the don't want to drag the game out that long in that area. Consistently just kind of worried about this blink maybe coming out from Mag, and they would have been quite right if that's what they were thinking, because it's flying out now. So very happy they got Roche down before that.
Yeah. One of the downsides to not having the Helm of the Dominator for Luna, you can't just sit a creep in there anymore. So no great way to scout if Roche is being taken except with that Dazzle Weave, and you know, it ends up coming back to bite him a little bit.
And the fact that Roche goes down now, there's no need to worry about moving Ace either. If you were to try and pressure him the top lane and he's farming up in there, it's much more dangerous. Whereas down bottom, he's pretty happy, pretty free, you know? He just kind of kills every single neutral camp he wants, still pressures down that bottom lane, might be able to draw heroes back to the tier 3. And feels a lot safer in this part of the map than going into this relatively untested from the Radiant part as well. They will go for their smoke play now.
And it's a quick kill on anybody that they find, but Vega Squadron heads up plays. They're backing out. They do not want to get caught out here, but it does mean that they basically lose all map control, and Metamorphosis is going to be a free tower. Top will probably go down here as well. We got a lot of Eidolons hitting away, but big battle going on. They found Ditch Ra right at the start, being able to stun and pull him back. A lot of damage being dealt out. They're not going to be able to bring him down. The Grave is there, so we'll get off the full Eclipse, but doesn't do as much damage.
Too.
All right, Rubik can go back in. A good crush onto 2. Baby Knight finds Mag as well. He's going to end up going down. And, I mean, there's just not enough damage right there with the rest of the heroes on Vega. This is high ground.
Yeah, there were pings from Sioma. He's like, they're summoned in these trees, and they just kind of walked right into the Bat Rider.
Oh, a big crush again. Connects onto 2 of them. And Seneko, he's going to get ran down. Sioma, no more Grave for 15 seconds, so he is definitely dead. They buy back on the Enigma, and that might keep Cloud9 at least a little bit more contained, but he has his Blink Dagger now. I just don't know if they have the damage to throw into it.
They really want this tower before Luna's back up.
Oh, and they
still have Aegis. Maybe this is one of these games where you just commit for the racks. You know, C9 have had some rough games where things have gone wrong on the high ground, so they're out. Just like, not again.
Well, a pretty convincing win, 7,500 net worth swing and right around 4,000 experience. But you can never be too careful when there's a black hole in the game.
Yeah, so we had no use of that black hole. No use of that Blink Dagger, really. Give them a chance in that last engagement. And they didn't really get a chance to show off anything at all. Ditch Ra just going down so quickly. Barely get off the Eclipse, didn't even end up mattering. Undying wasn't able to get into a good spot for his fight. So heavily punished here, and we still have Baby Knight just running around with this Aegis, and everyone's going to try and use that tier 3 gold, as well as the tier 2 that they had just cleaned up before, start getting that next tier of items. And first things first, the Aghanim Scepter on Ursa. Very important in these games where there's that decent amount of control up against you, but you still don't have to go for that BKB. Pretty good item.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always a bit of a question mark when you have to go for the BKB, and if you can get away with just having the Ags, it's really great. They're going to pull back in Mag yet again, and, well, Baby Knight just right on top of him. Is it going to be a kill? It does look like it's going to happen. They're trying to find a bit of a turnaround here. They have the stolen Eclipse. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Vega Squadron in some trouble, trying to jump out and away, and, well, it might end up happening. Ditcharod dies on the other side as well from Ace. They take down every damn person, and GG just gets called at 20 minutes. Vega have had enough.
Wow, not often we see teams call the earlier GG, but I suppose that was almost certainly the mid-Brax. Cloud9, very nicely done. That Roche, it was risky, but it gave them the game, I think. Just getting that knocked down, being able to pressure the tier 2, using Terrorblade at one of his best power spikes there. Oh, very well done. Impressive, impressive. So once again, Cloud9, maybe the bane of Vega, it would seem. I do believe Vega were actually still favored heading into this just after the slightly shaky showings of Cloud9 over the past couple days, but they hiked it up. They're good.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they can do that again in the next game.
No, definitely quite impressed, and maybe it makes us reconsider a little bit how good Horde was, able to take a game off of Cloud9 and maybe Alliance as well. If you're seeing them take down a Vega Squadron team, granted, Vega Squadron also not without their problems as well, but it just shows the competitiveness of this scene right now, the EU scene. Everybody is just right there in the mix, and we'll see how Game 2 ends up working out, if they're going to have an answer for the Slardar Batrider lane from hell. I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. Again, Lyrical as well as Trimpax, your two broadcasters today. We'll be back in just a little bit with game number 2 coming up soon.